Your bedroom might be making you sick, and you don't even know it. At first, that might sound dramatic, but if you're over 60, the space where you sleep could be quietly draining your energy, disturbing your rest, and even affecting your health in ways you haven't realized. Most people think of the bedroom as a safe haven, a quiet place to unwind, a personal retreat. But what if I told you that certain items in your bedroom, things you see every day, might be working against you? The truth is, as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to environmental triggers. Things that didn't bother us in our 40s or 50s, like mild dust, low air circulation, artificial scents, can now affect our sleep, our joints, our breathing, and even our mood. It's not because we're getting weaker, it's because the systems that used to process and filter out all that stimulation have started to slow down. The immune system, the nervous system, even our skin and sinuses, all of them become more reactive. That's exactly what happened to George. George is 68 and lives alone in a small brick house tucked behind a church. He's been sleeping in the same room with the same furniture for nearly 30 years. He never gave it much thought until last fall. He started waking up more often in the middle of the night, sometimes gasping, other times just feeling off. He'd get up, splash his face with cold water, lie back down, and wait for sleep to come. But it didn't. The next morning he'd feel groggy, unfocused, and despite getting what looked like a full night's sleep on paper, he never felt rested. At first he thought it was just stress, or age, or maybe too much tea in the evening. But then he noticed something else. His nose felt stuffed most mornings. His back ached a little more than usual, and his dreams had become restless, almost like he was fighting something in his sleep. That's when he started to wonder if it was something in the room. It turns out George was right. You see, your bedroom environment matters more than most people realize, especially after 60. It's not just about how soft your pillow is or how firm your mattress feels. It's about what's floating in the air you breathe, what's seeping into your skin, what your body is exposed to for 8 straight hours every night. If something's wrong in your bedroom, your body doesn't get the reset it's counting on. Sleep is supposed to be when your body repairs itself, when inflammation calms down, when the brain clears away toxins. But if your bedroom is filled with hidden irritants, things like dust mites, artificial fragrances, trapped heat, or digital stimulation, then instead of healing, your body stays on high alert. It fights, it strains, and it wakes up exhausted. The scariest part? Most of these problems are invisible. George didn't see anything wrong in his room. The walls were clean, the carpet was vacuumed, his sheets were fresh. But once he started learning more, he realized he had overlooked a few important details. His pillow was over 5 years old. He kept old boxes stored under the bed, untouched for years. He had a plug-in air freshener near the dresser that gave off a scent he thought was pleasant, but was actually full of synthetic chemicals. And every night before bed, he sat in the dark, scrolling through his phone, bathing his eyes in blue light before trying to sleep. Sound familiar? Here's the good news. You don't have to renovate your entire bedroom. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars, but you do need to make a few critical changes. There are 5 specific things that could be in your bedroom right now. 5 things that most people never question, that might be silently sabotaging your sleep and your health. Some of them will surprise you. Others may seem harmless at first glance. But once you understand what they do and how they affect your aging body, you'll never look at your room the same way again. And the last one? Almost every single person over 60 is guilty of it. It's not just common, it's practically a habit. But when you remove it, even for just 1 week, the difference in your energy, your clarity, and your mood can be incredible. So as we go through these, I invite you to look around your own bedroom. Be honest. Be curious. Think of your bedroom not just as a space, but as a partner in your health, because it can either help you heal or quietly wear you down. In the next part, I'll share the first 3 things you need to remove and the real reasons behind each one. You'll meet people just like George, who made small adjustments and saw big improvements. But first, tell me something. Have you ever woken up feeling more tired than when you went to sleep? Do you feel groggy in the morning or find yourself tossing and turning at night with no clear reason? If so, let me know in the comments. You're not alone, and your experience might help someone else connect the dots too. Now let's take a closer look at what's really hiding in your bedroom and how it might be keeping you from the rest your body so deeply needs. Ruby was 70 when the allergy started. At first, it was just a little congestion in the morning. Then came the sneezing fits, a dry throat, watery eyes. She assumed it was pollen or maybe the cat she'd had for years. But allergy meds didn't help. She cleaned her carpets, replaced her drapes, switched to fragrance-free laundry detergent. Still, every morning she woke up feeling worse. Then one afternoon, while talking with her daughter on the phone, she mentioned how stuffy her room had been lately. Her daughter asked one simple question: "Mom, how old is your pillow?" Ruby was quiet. She didn't know. She had bought it after her husband passed, so at least 6 years ago. That pillow, soft and familiar as it was, had become a sponge for everything she didn't want near her face. Dust mites, sweat, bacteria, even mold. And she was pressing her skin and breathing into it for 8 hours every night. What most people don't realize is that pillows don't just flatten over time. They accumulate layers of what your body sheds: oils, skin cells, and moisture. And in warm, humid environments, that's the perfect recipe for microbial growth. If you've ever woken up feeling like you have a cold, but you're not actually sick, your pillow might be the real culprit. Ruby replaced her pillow that weekend. She picked up a hypoallergenic one with a washable cover. She even bought an extra so she could rotate them out and keep one clean while the other was in the wash. Within days, the difference was noticeable. The morning congestion eased. Her throat wasn't scratchy. Her skin, which had been irritated for months, started to clear. And for the first time in weeks, she slept without waking in the middle of the night, gasping for air. So here's your first fix. If your pillow is over 2 years old, it's time to let it go. Even if it looks clean, even if it still feels comfortable, replace it, or at the very least, use a pillow protector and wash it weekly. Your lungs, your skin, and your sleep will thank you. Now let's move to something you probably haven't thought about in years. Under your bed. Carl, 73, never thought much about it. Under his bed was where he kept old shoes, photo albums, a few bins of winter clothes. It was convenient. Out of sight, out of mind. But over time, Carl began waking from bizarre dreams, sweating, restless. He'd lie there, tossing and turning, not knowing why he felt so uneasy. He chalked it up to age, to stress, to something in his diet. Until one day, while vacuuming, he knelt down and took a look under the bed. What he saw shocked him: a thick layer of dust, old boxes with curled edges, a forgotten electric blanket, long unplugged, but still wrapped around its cord. And in the far corner, a pair of sneakers covered in cobwebs. That night, Carl couldn't stop thinking about it. He remembered something he had once heard: that clutter holds energy, that your subconscious recognizes chaos even when your eyes are closed. The next day, he cleared everything out. He vacuumed, wiped, and scrubbed. He left the space under his bed completely empty. And that night, something changed. He dreamed differently, softer, quieter. He didn't wake drenched in sweat. The air felt cleaner. He hadn't realized how stale it had been until it wasn't. By simply removing the clutter, he'd made space, not just in his room, but in his body's ability to rest. Underbed clutter does more than gather dust. It blocks airflow, traps allergens, and disrupts the energy of your space. When you lie above a pile of forgotten items, your body stays on alert, even as you sleep. If you can't leave the space under your bed completely clear, try to store only clean, sealed items in airtight containers, and commit to cleaning underneath regularly. It may sound small, but your nervous system notices. And when it finally relaxes, so will you. Now let's talk about something that seems so innocent, so comforting, that most people would never expect it to interfere with their sleep. Scent. Ellie, 76, adored her bedroom. She'd always had a knack for creating cozy spaces, soft rugs, warm lighting, and the gentle scent of lavender from a candle she lit every evening. To her, that scent was part of the ritual. It helped her unwind, brought back memories of her childhood garden. But recently, she'd been waking up in the middle of the night with a tightness in her chest. Not painful, but uncomfortable. She felt groggy in the morning, and her throat burned ever so slightly. She assumed it was just dryness, maybe the heater. But then her granddaughter visited and mentioned the strong perfume smell in her room. That's when Ellie started reading the label on her favorite candle. It was packed with synthetic fragrances and paraffin wax, both of which release volatile organic compounds, VOCs, into the air when burned. These VOCs can irritate the lungs, disrupt hormones, and linger in the air long after the candle's been blown out. The same goes for plug-in air fresheners, sprays, and synthetic room scents. Ellie didn't want to give up her cozy atmosphere, so she made a switch. She bought a small diffuser and filled it with natural essential oils, lavender, eucalyptus, sometimes peppermint. She added a few indoor plants near the window: snake plant, aloe vera, and peace lily. These plants not only added life to the space, they actively cleaned the air. After just a week, Ellie noticed she was breathing easier. She no longer woke up with that strange pressure in her chest. Her mornings felt clearer, and she still had her soothing scent. Only now, it came from nature, not chemicals. If you love a pleasant-smelling bedroom, and who doesn't, make it work for you, not against you. Choose candles made from soy or beeswax, scented with real essential oils. Skip the synthetic sprays. And if you can, bring a plant into your space. It's a small change, but it can have a big impact on how you breathe, how you sleep, and how your body resets overnight. These first 3 changes, your pillow, the space under your bed, and the scents you surround yourself with, can transform your bedroom from a place that quietly wears you down into one that truly lifts you up. And we're not done yet. In the next section, I'll show you 2 more things to remove. One that affects your body's natural sleep rhythms, and another that nearly everyone keeps within arm's reach at night, even though it might be the reason you're not sleeping deeply at all. Ready to keep going? Let's finish this together. Hazel always thought she was doing the right thing. She had read that blackout curtains were the best for sleep, so she bought the heaviest, darkest ones she could find. Her bedroom stayed pitch black from sunset to sunrise. No streetlights, no morning glow, just pure darkness. And yet she felt exhausted almost every day. Hazel, now 74, found herself sleeping in later and later. Some mornings she wouldn't wake until 10 or 11 a.m., and even then she felt groggy. Her mornings were slow, her energy low. No matter how early she went to bed, she couldn't shake the fog. It wasn't until her niece came to visit that something clicked. "Aunt Hazel," she said, pulling open the curtains one morning, "how do you ever know it's morning in here?" That's when Hazel realized her bedroom had been keeping her in sleep mode. You see, your body runs on a rhythm, a natural internal clock known as the circadian rhythm. In the evening, when light fades, your body produces melatonin, the hormone that makes you feel sleepy. But in the morning, exposure to sunlight triggers the release of serotonin, a hormone that boosts energy, focus, and mood. When your bedroom is too dark in the morning, your body doesn't get the signal to wake up. Melatonin keeps flowing, serotonin stays quiet, and you end up sleeping longer but feeling worse. Heavy blackout curtains may help block out city lights at night, but if they're also preventing sunlight from entering your room in the morning, they might be doing more harm than good, especially as you get older. Your body relies on cues from nature to regulate everything from sleep to digestion to emotional balance. Hazel decided to make a simple change. She switched to lighter, breathable curtains that let in soft morning light while still giving her privacy at night, and she made it a habit to open them first thing in the morning. Within a few days, she noticed she was waking up more naturally, without the alarm. Her mornings felt brighter, both literally and emotionally. She didn't sleep as long, but she felt more rested, more alive. Your environment doesn't just influence how you fall asleep. It tells your body when to wake up and how to feel throughout the day. And speaking of signals to the brain, there's one more culprit we need to talk about. One you likely use every single day, maybe every hour: your phone. Leon, 72, had a habit he didn't think twice about. He'd climb into bed, plug in his phone, and scroll. Sometimes it was news articles. Other times it was text messages or photos from the grandkids. Just a few minutes, he told himself. But those few minutes often turned into an hour. And after setting the phone down, Leon found it hard to fall asleep. He tossed. He turned. He woke up multiple times during the night, sometimes to check the time, sometimes for no reason at all. The next morning he felt drained. It wasn't until his doctor mentioned blue light that Leon began to understand. The blue light emitted from screens, phones, tablets, TVs, mimics daylight. When your eyes absorb this light before bed, it tells your brain to stay alert. It suppresses melatonin, delays sleep, and reduces the depth of your rest. Even worse, having your phone next to your bed, even if you don't use it, can disrupt your sleep in subtler ways. Notifications, buzzes, the temptation to check the time at 3 a.m. All of it interrupts the restorative sleep your brain and body need most. Leon agreed to a 1-week experiment. He moved his phone to the kitchen at night, bought a $10 alarm clock, and promised himself no screens after 9 p.m. The first night, he felt restless, more from habit than anything else. But by the third night, he was falling asleep faster, staying asleep longer, and waking up without that crushing fatigue. By the end of the week, he was convinced. "I thought I needed the phone nearby," he said. "Turns out I just needed silence." So here's your fifth and final fix. Remove your phone and any other screens from the bedroom. Give yourself an hour of screen-free time before bed. Let your body unwind without stimulation. And if you rely on your phone as an alarm, consider investing in a simple clock. It might be the best $10 you've spent all year. Let's take a breath and look at the big picture. You've just learned 5 changes, 5 things to remove from your bedroom that can make a real difference in how you sleep, how you heal, and how you feel. You don't have to do all of them tonight. Start with 1. Replace an old pillow. Clear out the space under your bed. Open your curtains in the morning. Remove the chemical scents. Move your phone to another room. Each small change sends a message to your body. It's safe to rest here. And when your body believes that, it does what it's meant to do: restore, repair, and renew. So if any part of today's video resonated with you, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comment and share what change you're planning to make. Or tell us what's helped you sleep better. We learn best when we learn together. And if this video helped you, go ahead and give it a like. Maybe even share it with someone else who could use a little more peace in their night. Next time, we'll talk about how your bedroom setup can actually support your memory and focus after 60. How colors, lighting, and layout affect not just sleep, but cognitive clarity. Until then, sleep well. You've earned it.